It's coming.
As Venezuelan protesters try to get rid of their country's authoritarian president, Nicolás Maduro, the busy bridge between Venezuela and Colombia has become a concrete battleground, every inch fought over with bitter tears and blood.
Insulina. Tenía un vecino que murió por falta de insulina, por una ampolla de insulina.
Over 1 million Venezuelans have decided to start life again in Colombia.
How many are you from Venezuela? Everybody, todas. You think you know the man who shot you in the eye. You know his family. Yeah, we didn't know your full story when we first met you.
Hay una historia.
Hay una historia. There's a story.
Sí.
What was always a busy bridge between Venezuela and Colombia has become a concrete battleground a few hundred feet long, every inch fought over with bitter tears and blood. Venezuelan protesters are trying to rid the country of their authoritarian president, Nicolás Maduro, as the nation slowly falls apart.
Por favor, ayuden a Venezuela.
We met this woman, we'll call her Sara, in one exchange of tear gas and Molotov cocktails. She didn't want her name used for fear of retaliation against her family.
Tiene al país secuestrado.
So he's got the country kidnapped, you say, secuestrado, Maduro.
Es un dictador, es un
A
genocida.
dictator.
Anger boiled over again recently when trucks filled with desperately needed food and medical supplies were burned, as protesters clashed with Venezuelan security forces who were refusing to let the aid into the country.
When you looked at what burned there,
Son vidas que están necesitando esos insumos.
those are lives that
Son vidas.
people who need that.
Tenía un
Medicina,
amigo,
pensión.
insulina. Tenía un vecino que murió por falta de insulina. Era un guerrero también. Resistió todo lo que pudo con su enfermedad, pero murió
He died, your
por una
neighbor,
ampolla de insulina.
because he didn't have insulin.
No es justo.
We're hearing from people down here that somebody's been injured.
More than a dozen people have been killed since the clashes started. Hundreds more have been injured in the fighting on the bridges.
It's coming. All right, we're really feeling it now. It looks like they've launched a tear gas further back from where we were. So everybody's starting to run away right now. You can really feel it start to burn your eyes, and it gets hard to breathe.
Maduro has sealed Venezuelans' borders, including the bridges. So Venezuelans started crossing the riverbed. We saw hundreds of families hauling suitcases along illegal walkways the locals called trochas, paying money to the criminal gangs that now control access. But it's not just families who are fleeing.
So this is a military official from the Venezuelan side who decided to defect into Colombia, and he's walking with some of the people who are crossing the border right now. Señor, mi nombre es Manuel. You're not in favor of what you call a dictatorship, una dictadura.
Dictadura, sí, una dictadura por parte del gobierno de Maduro y todos sus alrededores, todos los chavistas.
Fue difícil hacer la decisión de venirse. Was it tough to decide to come over?
Da miedo, pero la tomé.
It's fearful.
Tomé la decisión.
But you did it. ¿Por qué? Why?
Por temor a mi familia, por temor a todo.
He's cheered by Venezuelans who've already fled as the Colombian military whisks him away. Hundreds of military and police officers have defected to Colombia this way. Over 1 million Venezuelans have decided to start life again in Colombia, many here in Cúcuta.
¿Qué tipo de medicina es esta?
Es para la tensión.
Para la tensión.
Losartán.
¿Osartán? ¿Y esto qué es?
Antibiótico.
This is an antibiotic, antibiótico. Okay, so you can see here why Venezuelans would cross over into this side. That's medicine, he says, antibiotics and some basic hygiene products.
Tens of thousands of doctors have fled Venezuela, leaving the country's healthcare system on the verge of collapse.
¿Cuántas son de Venezuela? How many are you from Venezuela? Everybody, todas. Okay, you're close, nine months.
Yo salí de Venezuela para venir a tener a la bebé.
Why did you have to go?
En Venezuela no hay condiciones, de verdad, no hay medicinas.
There's no medicine.
Es imposible pagar un parto por la vía privada.
You can't afford to pay for the medical bills. There's no sense that it would be safe over there to have a baby.
No, para nada. De hecho, ha habido mucha mortalidad así natal.
This is your only option.
Fue la única opción que tuve.
At the hospital, we also met John Carlos, who lost his eye in the bridge clashes. He told us that Venezuela is being torn apart by the fighting.
You think you know the man who shot you in the eye, que lo conoces?
Claro, yo sé quién es el papá y todo.
You know his family,
Y no le importó.
and it didn't matter.
Entonces yo le digo, tu papá es muy amigo mío, yo lo conozco. Somos hermanos, papá, ¿por qué tú vas a hacer esto? Entonces él calculó, cuando yo estoy rescatando a uno que está herido con perdigones, como que calculó en el momento que yo levantara la cara y me disparó.
Back near the Bolivar Bridge, we met Betsabé. She left Venezuela with her boys 4 months ago. She now has to rely on a soup kitchen for food and almost everything else.
So you were a merchant on the bridge. Usted estaba vendiendo cosas ahí en el puente.
One bridge has become a meeting point for protesters to regroup and share information. That's where we met up with Sara again.
Dices tú que aquí te dicen, ¿cómo te dicen?
Mamá R.
Mamá R.
Ajá.
Mama R.
R.
Y la,
No, R.
y la R, what is the R for?
Resistencia.
Resistencia, resistance. Yeah, we didn't know your full story when we first met you.
Hay una historia.
¿Cómo me comentas de esta historia? What is your story?
Entonces comencé a defenderme, porque nosotros no somos agresivos, nosotros no somos los violentos, nosotros resistimos.
She told us she was arrested and, like hundreds of others, spent months in jail. She says she was tortured, although we were unable to verify her story.
Are you growing tired of this?
Me cansa más durar 12 horas en una cola para comprar 1 kilo de harina.
The protesters each bring that frustration here to the bridge, a last stand for hope.
What does this border mean to you?
Era la esperanza, mi esperanza de que esto cambiara,